These men have made dozens of international treaties for Mexico for decades. Now they've been picked to renegotiate a free trade agreement between the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
Hay incentivos alineados.
The three have spent more than 20 years as public servants in this ministry. So we have three very experienced negotiators leading and coordinating this team.
They'll draw on this experience to talk trade with the United States, which is threatening to pull out of NAFTA.
NAFTA's been a catastrophe for our country. It's been a catastrophe for our workers and our jobs and our companies. They're leaving our country. I want to change it, and maybe we do it. Maybe we do a new NAFTA and we put an extra F in the term NAFTA. You know what the F is for, right? Yeah. Free and fair trade. Not just free trade, free and fair trade.
But Trump's only partially right. Since NAFTA was implemented in 1994, the United States trade balance with Mexico has fallen from a surplus to a huge deficit. The number of Mexicans living illegally in the US also rose sharply, but that trend's reversed over the past 10 years. And the jobs that have moved south of the border are of little significance to the world's biggest economy. The US government says farmers and auto workers are the worst affected. But the American Auto Policy Council says NAFTA has been a success. And the country's top bureaucrat for agriculture is full of praises for the current deal.
That overall, in the agricultural sector, NAFTA has been beneficial. We hope to use and serve up agriculture as an example of how the integration of our economies can benefit both people.
Besides the flow of people and goods, the Trump administration is taking steps to monitor the flow of data beyond the US borders. And the NAFTA negotiations could be a good opportunity to get Mexico and Canada to play ball on access to information in return for granting them access to markets. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Now, our editor-at-large Craig Copetas has reported extensively on NAFTA since it was implemented in the early 1990s, and he joins me now live from Paris. Craig, great to have you with us. Mexico wants to retain the free access of goods and services that it has to both the US and Canada. If NAFTA is renegotiated, is it going to retain that free access?
Geez, as you're making me force people to eat their spinach before we get to the pepperoni and pizza story. I think the U.S. Agriculture Secretary said it best. This works sector by sector. There's a lot of noise coming out of Trump on NAFTA, what works, what doesn't, and there's a dozen studies. The proverbial bottom line on this is jobs, okay, regardless of the sector. And what all of these studies point to is that there is little to no impact on wages of college and educated individuals. However, high school dropouts working industries dependent on tariff protections, they're the ones who got hurt by NAFTA, but certainly not the millions and millions and millions that Trump is tweeting about. You want to look at it in a specific sector? You know what? I know you love your avocado shakes. Mexico is the largest producer of avocados. They might put a tariff on avocados coming north. If you're Canadian and you're a maple syrup manufacturer and you're an American and you like maple syrup on your pancakes, they might up the cost of maple syrup. That's pretty much how it works. The key here that's a real bone buster is the United States wants both Mexico and Canada to get rid of bilateral panels to settle trade disputes. That's a big one.
This is the key, and we do love our avocados here on Money Talks, as you know, Craig. Now, but the thing that intrigues me, of course, is this thing about personal data. How does this trade negotiation affect personal data?
Well, the United States wants Mexico and Canada to cede privacy rights to the United States. Essentially, they want U.S. firms to be able to host government data on Mexican and Canadians. And so the personal information on Mexicans and Canadians are actually on the table for discussion. This would mean you would have to share financial and medical information with the United States. The Canadians don't like it, the Mexicans don't like it, and that's what to watch out for over the next few weeks of negotiations through the end of the year.
It'll be interesting to see if it sets a precedent. Craig Copetas in Paris, thank you ever so much.